Seriously. I mean, you think in Breath of Fire 3 you had to take the long way around. Huh. Why is that? Oh. We'll learn more about hexes later. Well, let's just say they're not very good. They're basically fantastical magic nukes. Powered by the tortured souls of mentally broken individuals who have been put through every imaginable pain. So yeah, like we'll learn more about hexes later. Let's just say they border on the nightmare fuel side. You know, it's kind of interesting because like the Fu Empire, which they talk about, there's this truce going on in this war here. The Fu Empire in this game is really not a very nice. Okay, stop. Group of people. And there we get a power food. At this point in the game, I recommend you do not use, well, anything. Don't use any of your power foods, life shards like that, unless you get more than one. The reason being is there's a master that he gives you skills based on the number of items you have in your inventory. It's kind of like Delonzo from Breath of Fire 3, whereas in Breath of Fire 3 she wanted you to have X number of unique weapons in your inventory. Well, this master wants you to have, I think it's 80 and 120 unique items in your inventory. And he's the master who teaches you steal. So, you want to save all of your items basically until you can get at least the 80 item mark. The 120 item skill he teaches is called Coward's Way. It's basically the skill. If you've ever played Final Fantasy V, it's the skill equivalent of the chicken knife. The more you run from battle, the more powerful it is. Although it takes an excessively large amount of running away to make Coward's Way powerful. So I don't ever typically use it. Now, if you run away regularly and make a concerted effort to power Coward's Way up, it can become probably the most powerful single hit skill in the game. There's the Mage Goo. So we go ahead and teach. Have Nina start attacking the Eye Goos there. So Ryu can learn Burn. Alright. So, now, I'm going to teach you how to do combos. The most basic combo in the game is probably Fire Wind, because, well, it's the first two attack spells you get. And Fire Wind will actually take out most of the random battles for a very large portion of the game. It's a very, very good thing. Basically, there's two kinds of combos. There are skill chain combos and elemental combos. Skill chain combos are when you link a non-elemental skill. Something such as when you link two unrelated skills together. It can actually be a magic spell and a physical attack, and such as that. For example, if you were to do Sever, and then if I had a move such as Double Blow, it would make the Double Blow Wind Elemental. Okay. And the Double Blow would do a little more damage. Let's see, left. And that's wrong. Okay. Right. Alright. Now, there's an elemental, I guess, wheel in this game, like there is in everyone, where, you know, you got opposing elements and things like that. Not only do you have opposing elements, you also have elements that mix together. For example, depending on what order you do elemental skills, sometimes a spell will transform into another spell with a mixed element. Basically, if you do a fire then a wind, you'll get a fire wind spell, such as fire wind or simoon, and I think, I'm trying to think of what the last one's called, but anyway, it's wind, fire, no, it's fire, wind, wind, water, earth, fire, and then water, earth. And those are the elemental combinations that get you the combo magic. And then there's, depending on... Sorry, I'm just watching my dog. I'm like, what is he eating? He's eating his dog food. Of course. And I put one of my dogs down. But I still got one of the little buggers. Anyway. Burn. Now, I did mention briefly about the way agility works in this game. For example, go over here so you can see. Ryu has 10 agility. Nina has 22 agility. Well, you can change the order of combat in this game. You can see here, basically to facilitate combos. Well, now Nina's agility has just capped out at 10 in terms of turn order. That means Ryu will go first, then Nina will go. It doesn't matter what Nina's agility is. Ryu will go first, then she'll go. If the enemies are faster than Ryu, then they're going to be faster than Nina with this battle formation. And that is pretty much how the agility works in this game. I know I probably did not explain that very well, but you'll see as we go on. Alright, we got that money there. So I gotta go back up here, of course, and get another random battle. With a new enemy, the Scorpion. The Scorpion will actually teach a new ability. He has Blind. Interesting thing about Blind is if you have the Blind skill, it actually does like it did in Breath of Fire 3 in terms of the goos. I do know that it works on the Mage goos and the Eye goos, but I'm not sure if it works on any of the other goos. The lower level goos. I know it doesn't work on the high level goos. But it will actually, if you blind an Eye goo or a Mage goo, it actually increases the amount of experience they're worth. It's not as drastic as it was in Breath of Fire 3, especially with the Eye goos, but it might be worth your time. I really don't recommend you do that, due to the fact that there are no masters available for a really long time, especially decent masters for like physical fighters. Yeah, sometimes combos don't happen, as you can see there. Alright. Now, for the beginning part of the game, I definitely like to have rest on Nina, due to the fact that she is pretty much the damage-dealing powerhouse of your party for a very, very, very long time. With her Sever spell, allowing you to combo enemies into oblivion with the fire wind attacks. Because she just has an absurdly high wisdom. I mean, she wins hands down for most wisdom, and that's even before you start doing masters. You bring masters in the equation, she can have like just this absurd amount of wisdom. Okay, let's see. I mean, it really does get absurd, the amount of wisdom she gets, the amount of wisdom and AP. Like I said, for the beginning part of the game, I like to have rest on her because I like to have her heal too, and well, the healing kind of burns through her AP pool at the low levels pretty quickly. As you can see, she's already out of AP. Actually, it might be, no, because then I'd have to... Nah, I'll just power my way through. And from here on, I'm going to start cutting out the... Oh, no, I forgot to... Okay, so you know what? I'm going to show you how the camp works. Just like in Breath of Fire 3, sorry, my dog is... No, okay. Anyway, just like Breath of Fire 3, if you hit triangle while you're on the world map, you'll bring up a camp. Pretty much functions the same exact way as it did in Breath of Fire 3. You can talk to your party members here and, of course, hear their thoughts on your current goal. And you can go inside the tent and you can rest, save your game, change your skills. So you can look at a list of all the skills you have. That's Shadow Walk right there. Shadow Walk's not as good in this game as it was in Breath of Fire 3 due to the fact it can miss, but it's still probably one of the best melee attacks in the game. Alright, and this is how you put attacks back on the skill scroll. And new to Breath of Fire 4, and it's a really wonderful thing they do this too, because there's large portions of the game. There's a portion of the game where you can't get back to a map, a portion of the map, and they do this 2 or 3 times to you, where you're stuck in an area for several hours of gameplay, and you can't get back to the masters. This means that you actually cannot go back to learn new skills once you meet the requirements for those skills, but that does not mean that you can't actually change the way you have your masters set up and who you have learning on who. You can actually change your masters from the camp screen now. As you can see, there are 12 masters in this game. And you can change who is learning under who from the camp screen. That's very handy. Oh wait, yeah, I was gonna rest. Durr. Okay. No, I'll save after I am done recording, because the last thing I need to do is save over my file and have a problem with the recording and have to start the game over because I'm stupid. Okay, I'm gonna start cutting out random battles now. Alright, now, let's go over here and actually turn the rudder the correct way this time. Alright, come on. I don't like the way this game handles compared to Breath of Fire 3. One other thing that bothers me is the way Ryu runs. He runs like his knees don't bend. I'm stuck. Okay, anyway, he runs like his knees don't bend. Just watch him. as we go through the thing here. I'm not going to demonstrate it. Just pay attention.